Today, we will be covering lines 84 through 99 from Act 5, Scene 1 from Hamlet.
Lines 84 through 99 cover the burial of Ophelia and how Hamlet feels towards the gravedigger's actions. In the beginning of the act, the gravediggers question why they are going to bury Ophelia, considering that she drowned herself. The gravediggers then see Hamlet and Horatio come from a distance and then get back to work. While working, the gravediggers are singing, and that disgusts Hamlet. It makes his body ache to see how the gravediggers treat the remains of the body. Hamlet later realizes that they are making a spot for Ophelia, and his heart is broken. Reason is that Ophelia is his one true love.
Before I begin reading, this conversation is between Hamlet and Horatio. I will read Hamlet's part, and Hannah will read Horatio's part. Or of a courtier which could say, "Good morrow, sweet lord, how dost thou, sweet lord? This might be my lord, such a one that praised my lord, such a one's horse when he went to beg it, might it not?"
"Ay, my lord."
"Why, e'en so. And now my lady worms, chapless and knocked about the mazzard with the sexton's spade. Here's fine revolution, and we had the trick to see it. Did these bones cost no more than the breeding, but to play at loggets with them? Mine ache to think it.
A pickaxe and a spade, for and a shooting sheet. Oh, a pit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is meet."
Because Hamlet was written so long ago, the historical context of the wording has changed a lot. We interpret word meaning in completely different ways. For example, we would interpret the word chapless to mean without a lower jaw. Also, the word mazzard is a slang term for a person's head. This scene is often referred to as the gravedigger scene. To begin with, Hamlet questions how the gravedigger is able to do his job without it bothering him. He doesn't understand how someone can work around death for so long and be desensitized to it. Hamlet also wonders who the people in the cemetery were before they died. For example, when Hamlet said, "This might be my lord, such a one that praised my lord, such a one's horse when he went to beg it, might it not?" He is creating a fake scenario with someone who is dead and imagining what kind of life they lived or even what kind of person they are. He envisions what they look like, what their personality was, and what they strove to be. Another analysis is the use of punctuation in the scene. Exclamation marks are used as are question marks. Hamlet asks many questions, some of which I would interpret as him speaking passionately. He is creating a fantasy in his mind, and therefore he is speaking from the heart. I believe Hamlet would be enacting these lines in a loud manner and overemphasizing the questions to further drag out the fantasy in his mind. This scene showcases Hamlet's creativity.
The last 8 lines are about Hamlet's attitude and his grieving. He feels as though the gravedigger is not treating Ophelia's bones/corpse with respect. Hamlet says, "Did these bones cost no more than breeding, but to play at loggets with them?" What he means when he says this is that are those bones not worth anything any more than to throw them like a piece of wood at a stake? That is what he means by the term loggets, as that is a game that was played during that time. While all of this happens, he says that this aches him, and that is because Ophelia was his one true love, and he hates to think about her not being respected, even though it is her corpse. The gravedigger's song does have some symbolism in the lines. When he says, "Oh, a pit of clay for to be made," what he means by that is there should be a pile of dirt in order for there to be a grave. The gravedigger is also in this play because Shakespeare likes to include comic relief in his plays, and that is exactly what he did by placing the gravedigger in this act. The gravediggers are also there to provide Hamlet with a moment to confront his own mortality. What comes after the lines are that after these lines took place, Hamlet finds a grave and tries to see whose it is, only to find out that it is Ophelia's grave. This sends Hamlet into a frenzy, and his grief overtakes him. He then processes his grief and love for Ophelia. However, Laertes, Ophelia's brother, curses Hamlet and blames Ophelia's death for them. They exchange many unkind words to each other. One thing I found contradictory was the fact that Hamlet was overtaken with grief for Ophelia dying, but when she was alive, he pushed her away and said he no longer wanted to be with her. He confessed his love for her over her dead body, but he did not treat her like he loved her when she was alive.
Furthermore, this scene was set as dark and unsettling. Corpses surround them, and Ophelia's dead body is present. The gravedigger is singing out of nowhere, which further sets the tone as ominous. The tension is high between Laertes and Hamlet as they are fighting about Ophelia. The feeling of regret is present throughout, and to a life that was short-lived. Hamlet is also very agitated throughout these lines. He believed the gravedigger to be disrespectful towards Ophelia's body, and that angers him. Hamlet's raw emotions are very present throughout because the person he loved has died. Overall, Hamlet is in the grieving process. This is a side of Hamlet that is new to the audience because we have not seen his unprocessed emotions about Ophelia's death yet.